Um, Hello, good morning. Good morning to you all. Please, can you all hear me? Okay,
Yes, good
thank you.
morning.
All right. Good morning, once again. Thank you all for joining. We cherish your presence. Indeed, we advertised 11 o'clock, and therefore we would just want to crave your indulgence. Give us the next 5 to 10 minutes so we can get a few more people on and then we will take off. In the meantime, we want to appreciate you joining at the time advertised. So please just give us some few more minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, as we admit a bit more people on the call, and then we'll take off as indicated. Thank you once again. Okay. Once again, good morning to all of you who are on the call. We asked that you hold on for some few minutes, and thank you for holding on. Thank you for waiting. And therefore, we would want to begin the webinar. My name is Wellington. I work with Carl Asset Management. And I'm sure most of us are back from our Easter breaks to our various places of work. And we think that it's important for us to begin to engage around matters of investments and how to properly position ourselves with respect to our investments and how we manage our financial resources. And therefore, we will want to use the opportunity to introduce to you Carl Asset Management and what we do and how we can be partners with you in your investment management journey. We have all staff of Carl Asset and by extension Carl Bank joining us. And today we'll be having one of our major personnel to lead us in the discussions with respect to the title and the topic that we have advertised. She is in the person of Anita Nadia Atta, the Executive Business Manager for Carl Asset Management. She'll be introducing us to Carl Asset Management generally, what we do, and the various aspects that we can be of help and also in many ways be partners with you. And therefore at 11:14, I'm sure we are ready to start. Please help me welcome Anita as she takes us in the next few minutes ahead of us, dealing with various aspects of Carl Asset Management, what we do and how we can be of help, and also how we can partner all of us on the call and those who are yet to join us in our financial management processes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Wellington. Good morning, everybody on the call. You're welcome to our introductory session, bringing Carl Asset Management to you and informing you about what we do. Like Wellington said, my name is Anita Nadia Atta, and I'm the Executive Business Manager at Carl Asset Management. And so I'm going to go quickly into our presentation. I'm just going to turn my camera off so that we can get into the presentation. Thank you. I'm going to share my screen now. Please confirm for me if it's visible to you.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. Thank you very much. So for many of the people we have on the call, you probably have heard about Carl Asset Management and you'd want to know a bit more about us. We've had some requests come through our social media channels asking for information about what we do and all of that. And so this session is for you. It's to provide you all the clarity you require and to answer all the questions you may have concerning the services that we provide here at Carl Asset Management. So in terms of the outline for this presentation, it will be quick so that we can have some time to answer your questions. We'll give you a background of the company and what our investment solutions are. We'll also like to take you on a personal investment journey where we provide you with information on how we can partner with you to create the financial independence that you would need as you advance in your careers and in age. On the background of Carl Asset Management, we are a subsidiary of Carl Bank. We were set up in 1990 when the bank was set up. We were a unit of the bank. But in 2006, when the banking license was not supporting the fund management business, the Securities and Exchange Commission issued a license to us. That is when we were incorporated into the subsidiary. Now, in 2012, when the pension deregulation happened, we also registered with the National Pensions Regulatory Authority as a pensions fund manager. And between when we were incorporated in 2006 and where we are now, we've grown significantly because at the beginning we had just about 9.45 million under management. Currently, we are looking at money in excess of 7.36 billion cedis. And so that the company has grown significantly since it was incorporated into a subsidiary. So we like to make a promise to our clients. Now, this promise that we make to our clients is based on the 2 decades of excellent fund management services that we have provided to our clients across the country. We work in different sectors of the economy, and we work across the country. So we have clients right from Bolga all the way to Takoradi, and we provided services for them in different aspects as corporates or as individuals. We've been there to guide their investment decisions. We have a very experienced team here at Carl Asset Management with a combined industry experience of 218 years of work. And so you can be sure that with the wealth of experience that the team here has, your funds will be managed very prudently. I'm happy to say that we have a team that can be mentioned amongst the best within our industry. And so you can be sure that your money is in very safe hands. Now, we like to provide a strategic guide for all of our clients towards preparing them for a comfortable retirement and to have financial independence, whether at the corporate or individual level. We tell our clients and would-be clients that you can't be associated with Carl Asset Management and have poor investment habits. We, as much as possible, try and put you on a path that makes sure that you don't find yourself wanting in the event that you have an emergency or you need to pay for something substantial. We always prepare you to make sure that you're ready for that moment. And then we've worked under very strict compliance structures within the company and within the market as well. And so you can be sure that your confidentiality and information that you provide to us is safe. We try every now and then to bring innovative products and services to our clients to help them to become better every day. And so that's our promise to you. You cannot be associated with us and not have a good financial lifestyle. Now, in terms of our investment solutions, we have general offerings that we bring to the market, and these are generally on pension and non-pension schemes, which are usually done at the corporate levels. And with the retail, we have a wealth management service that we bring to our clients. And then as well, we have the collective investment schemes that we sell to our individual clients. I'll just touch on them as we go along the presentation. So I mentioned earlier that we have the pension business that we run now that will take care of tier 2 and tier 3 schemes that are registered under the National Pensions Regulatory Authority. We also manage some superannuation schemes for some of our big universities who neither fall under tiers 2 or 3, but have a pension scheme that is specific to their institutions. And so that is what we provide services for under the pension business. We also provide provident fund businesses to clients who are not necessarily under the NPRA umbrella. And so we have some provident funds and some welfare schemes that are institution-based. And so if you work in any company You may either have a welfare scheme or provident fund that is being operated by the company. And that is a fund that we can manage for you as fund managers. We also manage end of service benefit schemes for companies. We do project funds, institutional funds as well. Some companies have money sitting on their bank accounts that they use at specific periods. Now, between when you receive funds and when you deploy funds for services or to do your business, that money can actually be invested to earn something for you before it's deployed at the required time. So we're happy to structure something for you if you find yourself within that bracket. And then I mentioned earlier that we have the fund management and collective investment schemes business that we run as well. So on the wealth management side, we have high net worth individual products. And then on the collective investment schemes, we have some funds that we will be sharing shortly. So on the personal investment opportunities, which will ordinarily come under wealth and collective investment schemes, we have a specially curated service for our high net worth individual clients, as well as families that have funds to invest. We're happy to assist to put family funds in investments so that the funds can transcend generations. If you are in a family or you've heard about a family that had the patriarch probably pass on or the matriarch pass on, and then the family just dissipated the funds, then this is a place for them to be. We provide the structures and the guidance that enables the family to hold wealth and ensure that the wealth is transmitted across generations. And then we as well do lump sum investments for individuals. Now, for you to qualify for the high net worth wealth management service, you would need a minimum of 1 million cedis to begin with regular top-ups as and when you have funds available. Now, in addition to that, we also have individuals come to us and say, okay, I don't have 1 million, but I have 500 cedis every month. I have 5,200 cedis every month. What can I do with my money? And so we have collective investment schemes that are also curated to provide the solution that you would require for yourself as an individual seeking to invest and to build wealth gradually until you become a high net worth, or you've made a minimum of the 1 million, and then we can transfer you into a high net worth individual product. Otherwise, if you seek to remain within the collective investment scheme, that also gives you good returns, and so you can remain there. So I'd like to introduce you to our first collective investment scheme, which is the Carl Advantage Balanced Unit Trust. So the Carl Advantage Unit Trust is a balanced fund that has been positioned as a retirement benefit fund. And so what this does is that it helps to support your retirement benefit payments as your career begins to come to an end, or once you exit active service. Now, this fund is a medium to long-term fund, and it has, the reason why it's balanced is because it has some fixed income investments as well as equities. And so it's positioned to be a medium to long-term fund to allow for your funds to grow. And so if you have funds that you don't want to touch immediately, this is the place where you want to put the money. There are some individuals who save for their children's education. And so we've had some clients who put money away consistently because they know that, okay, in 10 years, my child is going into university. What can I do so that by the time they're going, I don't feel the financial pressure of having to cough up money to take care of preparing them to go to university? And so if you are in that bracket, then the Carl Advantage Balance Fund is the place to put your money. It allows you to grow money steadily. And by the time your children are ready to go into university, you would have saved a healthy amount of money that you can draw from to support their university education. If you're also saving towards buying a house and you want to put something additional aside, the Cal Advantage Balance Fund is the place for you to put your money. If you want to save to buy a car, for example, you've given yourself 5 years that you want to buy a car in 5 years or in 3 years, the Cal Advantage is the place to be because it will allow you the opportunity to grow your money, and it will be ready for you once you are in the position to buy or provide the funds for the objective for which you started the investment. Now, the other collective investment scheme that we have is the Cal Benefit Fixed Income Fund. Now, the Cal Benefit is a 100% fixed income fund, and so it doesn't have any exposure to equities or stocks. Now, this fund is positioned as a short-term fund. And so if you have an emergency, for example, and you don't have funds to do whatever it is that has brought the emergency to you, the Cal Benefit Unit Trust is the place to be. Now, the reason why we have positioned this as a short-term fund is that we've all found ourselves in situations where we've had to cough up monies that we didn't plan for. And so your car all of a sudden develops a fault, you have to change your engine, or you have a loved one that becomes ill unexpectedly and you need money to do something. If you don't have an emergency fund, please, this is the time to start one because you never know when you will need it. And at the point when that emergency happens, you may not have anybody to fall on. And so it's important that you begin to invest and have this money ready so that at any given time, you are able to access the funds. And I tell my clients and my would-be clients that when you are doing an emergency fund, when you're starting one, get the people around you to start one too if they don't have one. Otherwise, you will become everybody's emergency. When your siblings have emergencies, they'll fall on you. When your friends have emergencies, they'll fall on you. And so if you don't have one, please let's start one today and encourage the people within your circles as well to begin this emergency fund because it goes a long way. It doesn't put pressure on you when you have to provide funds for something. Now, you also need to know that these funds are managed by professionals within the Cal Asset Management team who ensure that the securities that we are buying for you or the securities that are within these portfolios are safe. They are returning good income for you as investors, and they will be available anytime you want to withdraw from the funds. It gives you an opportunity to put money away and know that you have something. You can't sleep with one eye open mainly because you know that you have money sitting in the event that you have to pay for something. We also encourage this because we know that if you have, let's say, 5,000 every month and you want to invest, you may not be able to invest in different securities because of the value of the funds that you have. But when you buy the collective investment schemes, they give you access to a wide range of securities, which ordinarily you wouldn't have had access to, maybe because you don't meet the minimum threshold for buying those securities, or you are just not able to spread your funds enough to cover everything. And so the collective investment schemes are a good place to be because they provide you with the diversity that you would require. Okay, so we are moving on quickly to the personal investment journey that I spoke about earlier. And at Cal Asset Management, it's important for us, like I said earlier, that when you're associated with us, you have healthy financial practices or you have a healthy financial lifestyle. Now, I'm sure that if I put anybody on the spot and I said, if you wanted to find out or you wanted a plug on the best wache or gobe joint in Accra, for example, you would know who to call, right? If you wanted to find out, to get a mechanic or something, you would know who to call. But if you want to invest your money, do you know who to call? Do you have a plug for your investments? If you don't, we're happy to be your plug. We're happy to provide you with the guidance you need to be able to start right and maintain a consistent habit with investing. It's not too late if you didn't start when you were 25 or you didn't start when you were 30. If you are younger, we're happy that you are younger because it helps you have more time to save. But if you're older, it's not too late if you didn't start early. It's not about when you started, it's about starting and being consistent with what you do. And so at Carl Asset Management, we're happy to take you through that journey where we help you to build a personal budget that helps you to manage your money. That mainly helps you to decide where your money goes and what your money does. And it helps to avoid debt. Some people borrow a lot because they don't manage their funds. They keep saying, oh, I don't have enough money. But the question is, what are you doing with what you have? Have you taken an account of where your money goes at the end of every month? Do you have a monthly budget that you work with? If you don't, this is the time to put one in place, and we're happy to assist you to get that underway. Now, if you don't have one, or if you have one and you are using it, are you consistent with it? And so at Carl Asset Management, we have a number of investment advisors that are on hand to assist you through the budgeting process to make sure that you have a plan that you're working with. That plan is agreed between you and the investment advisor. That doesn't overstretch your finances, doesn't put undue pressure on you, but also helps you to keep the discipline to work within the plan that will be drawn up for you based on what information you share with your investment advisor. So I tell people, and if you are young, for example, and you live with your parents, you don't pay rent, you don't buy fuel, you don't pay utilities, you don't pay hospital bills, you don't pay school fees, it's a good time to build a healthy investment habit because it means that by the time you are working or you have other responsibilities, you've already built that discipline and that helps you to stay consistent with your investment lifestyle. Unfortunately, for people who don't do these things, they don't take it seriously enough. And by the time you realize you're probably married, you have kids, you have other responsibilities, you're paying school fees, and so the excuse about putting money away becomes even more real because you feel like, oh, I'm paying school fees, how can I invest? Our investment advisors are here to guide you so that you can break down what your income is like and what your lifestyle is like. And then based on that, a plan can be put in place for you. But it's not enough to have this conversation with the investment advisors. It's not enough to put the plan in place. We need you to also keep your end of the bargain. We need you to stay true to the plan, to be consistent with it, to check in with your investment advisor frequently. Anytime something changes on your end, which hasn't been factored into the plan, you need to come back to your advisor, who will then be able to assist you to move things around a bit to accommodate whatever new situation you may have. This situation may be additional income. Maybe you got a promotion, you got a salary increment, you got a windfall cash from somewhere, you got an inheritance, you got a bonus, you got your 13th month payment, you got a gift. All of these things are places where you can seek advice on in terms of what to do. It could also be that you probably have an addition to your family, and so you have to buy more in terms of household items, or you have an aging parent who originally you were not supporting financially, but now they have also exited active service and you have to support them. So all of these dynamics come into play when it comes to putting a plan in place for you as an individual investor. And we're happy to assist you through the process. But very importantly, you need to be consistent with the plan. That is where the success will come from because there's only so much that we can do as investment advisors. If you don't do your bit, then it's difficult for us to achieve the overall success that we seek. And so for us, this is important. And we also try and discourage people who say, oh, I don't have money. When I get money, I will save. When you save, when you have 100 CDs, when you have 10,000, it's not a challenge for you because you've already built the habit of saving and investing. But if you don't invest and you're always waiting for a bigger salary or a bigger income, then tomorrow will never come. And before you know it, you are heading towards retirement and then you're beginning to clutch at straws. In the lifetime of some of us, some of our careers, we've seen people transition from active service into retirement. And for those who have prepared adequately, it's such a joy to watch them enjoy their retirement lives. But for those who thought, oh, money will always come and money stopped coming, or money came but was very small, it hasn't looked too good for them. I'll tell you a quick joke. There's a client that we used to manage funds for who transitioned into retirement, and at the time he lived in the rich area. He was living in a home that had been provided by the company, and so he wasn't paying for anything. Now, when he left and he moved into his own home, somewhere around beyond Achimota, one day I went to the company and he had called and said, oh, his power had gone off. And so he had called the office and asked if somebody could check on it and find out why his power had gone off. And so the client had gone to see, called somebody and said, oh, this person has called and said his power has gone off and he doesn't know why. And the person jokingly said, oh, the last time this happened, his prepaid balance was 0. And he didn't know. And he didn't know how to even do requests for the top up to be done. And so sometimes when we are comfortable, right, we tend to not recognize some of the things that we get for free. And it's only when we stop working or when that income stops coming that it actually hits us that, okay, this is something that actually I've been preparing for, right? So if you are working, for example, and you're getting rent, you are getting car maintenance, you are getting all the other perks, lunch, health insurance, and all those things, it's a good time to put money away. You don't have to overly squeeze yourself, but ask yourself, if you were eating lunch on your own, if you're paying for your lunch every day for 5 days a week, how much would you spend? If it's 50 CDs a day, for example, to pay for your lunch, that's 250 CDs already at the end of the week, right? So that's 1,000 CDs at the end of the month. That's lunch money you are getting for free right now, or you may be eating from your office for free. That 1,000 CDs, where does it go to at the end of the month? You're not paying hospital bills, assuming that you were paying for your own hospital bills every month, assuming you were paying, let's say, 500. You're not paying. Where's that 500 going? You're getting fuel, and so you're not paying for fuel. Where's that money that you would have used to pay for fuel going to? So there are different ways we can save, and all these things people ignore or people are not aware of. And for us, we're happy to draw your attention to these things. Some people are overly generous. They are the ones everybody will come to. You are the burger in the family. When everybody wants credit, when everybody is traveling and they need some money, you are the one they come to. What are you doing with your money? It's important that you know. Whether you are rich or poor is not dependent on how much money you receive or you earn. It's dependent on your spending habits. That's what determines whether you become rich or poor. And so please be minded by some of these things that I have spoken about. So over the years, we've won some awards. We've won Fund Management Company of the Year a number of times. And we are still striving in the market to delight our clients. And so this is just for your information. Now, I will just touch quickly on this slide, which is our call to action. And then I'll conclude quickly, and then we can take your questions. And just to leave you with these three quotes, comfort doesn't build wealth. Decisions do. So if you are comfortable now, you won't build wealth being comfortable. You have to decide what you want to do. You have to decide what you want to earn. So just recently, I was speaking to one of my colleagues and I said, I want to make you a millionaire. And he said, how can you do that? So I asked him, I said, how much do you earn? And after he mentioned, I said, okay, can we put a plan in place and see how much you can contribute every month so that in the next 5 years or in the next 10 years, when you're retiring, you have a minimum of 1 million CDs. And he was happy to have that conversation. At Cal Asset Management, we are building millionaires. You don't have to have 1 million to be a millionaire. You can start with your 500 CDs. You can start with your 1,000 CDs. But if you stay true to the plan that we will share with you, if you're consistent with it, your decisions will build the wealth that you want in future. So that's it. You need to just be intentional about it. If you want to build wealth, you need to be intentional about it. It doesn't come by chance. It comes by intentional decisions. And that's what we want you to know. Invest deliberately so that you can retire deliberately. These things don't come by chance. It comes by being consistent and disciplined with your spending habits. And so, if you don't know where to find us, we're in the Cal Bank building. We have the Cal Bank head office. We're on the 6th floor on the Rage Independence Avenue. You can email us at assetmgt@calbank.net, or you can reach out to us on 026 151 3573, and we'll be happy to assist you. We have investment advisors on hand to answer any questions you may have, to support you to put this plan in place so that you can have something that you're working with, knowing that if you have 20 years to retirement or you have 15 years to retirement, by the time you're retiring, because of the discipline that you would have built between now and then, you will have good money to retire on. Don't be that person that everybody avoids at a funeral, because every time you see people, you're taxing them for money. Don't be that auntie or uncle whose call everybody avoids, because anytime they call, it's money they want. Don't be that person. Ensure that you are self-sufficient by the time that you're retiring. They say that a prudent man leaves an inheritance for his children, I believe. Yes. So please, this is our call to action. Make sure that if you don't have any of these things we've spoken about now, if you don't have an investment advisor, we're here to support. If you don't have an emergency fund, we're here to assist you to begin to build one. If you don't have any healthy investment lifestyle, if you're not running with a budget, we're happy to assist you to do all those things. So thank you very much. I'll hand over back to Wellington now. And if you have any questions, we're happy to answer them. Thank you. Over to you, Wellington.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Anita. So this is where we are all very excited about all that we've heard, lessons shared, and so much that we've heard. I think that, again, we want to appreciate all of you have about all those on the call. It's great to have you. And we are excited because as we keep sharing the things that we are doing, we believe that most people will begin to prudently manage what they have. And as they do, we are able to build wealth together. So Anita indicated that at the end of her presentation, we will take questions. And so being privileged to be the facilitator, I'm sure she'll be generous again to provide some answers to some of the questions that have come up. So I see a hand. Let's take yours and then I'll read out the ones in the chat session. So please, kindly, Haruna, please, you may unmute and kindly bring your question. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, Haruna, please.
Good morning. Good morning for the PC. I want to know whether I don't have an account with CalBank. Do I need to have an account with the bank before I can take these opportunities? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Haruna. So Anita will provide clarity to that.
Oh, hello, Haruna. No, you don't need an account with CalBank to begin your investments with Cal Asset Management. And so if you're ready, we can go through the process. You just have to complete the onboarding forms here at Cal Asset Management. You don't need an account with CalBank. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Anna.
Great. Thank you. Haruna, thank you for that question. I see another hand up. So I think that's Moses. Please, Moses. Okay, please, you may go ahead. Thank you.
Yes, so my question is following up on Haruna's question. Filling a form, is it going to be an online or would have to get to the office to pick up a form? Then secondly, when Anita was explaining the three categories of investment opportunities or portfolios, the second one, I would want to find out if I want to have a fixed monthly amount of 500 cedis monthly. Is it going to be divided into the various fixed and the equity based, or is it going to go into one portfolio? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So the two questions asked by Moses. First one, as to whether you need to come to the office, the physical office of Cal Asset Management, in order to enroll on any of our investments, especially when it has to do with filling the form. That's question number one. Just recapping so we are sure we are on the same page. And number two,
yes.
Okay. And I think the number two question is, okay, I think the number two question is between the Cal Advantage and the benefit, whether you can make
the alternate market, EGL,
whether you can make a contribution and then the money will be split between the two collective investment schemes. I believe that captures your question.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. So Anita will provide.
Okay, thank you, Moses. So if you want to complete the forms, you don't necessarily have to come to Cal Asset Management. You can complete it electronically. Once you speak with the dedicated investment advisor, she'll provide the form to you. It's editable, and so you can fill it in the comfort of your home or in your office and send it back to us. And then we'll get on with the process once you have attached the requisite information, so your ID, your Ghana card, and any other required information. Now, when you complete for Cal Advantage, the money goes into the portfolio. And so when we are buying securities, we are buying securities with the entire amount. So the money is spread. You have access to all the securities that the Cal Advantage unit trust will buy. So if you want to have both, we have clients who have both advantage and benefits. You can have both accounts and you can put money in it at any point in time. It will not go into one security within the portfolio. But once you buy, because it's units which are allotted as and when funds are available, it gives you access to the wide diversified portfolio that the fund holds. I hope that you're okay with the answers.
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mo. So we'll go to the chat session. It's about 11:52. Quickly, we want to go to the chat session. From Wanda Yawa. I think off the top of my head, Wanda, you qualified to be one of our best participants today You came in very early and you've been very engaging. So your question, so I'll read from the bottom up, and then I think there are some other one or two questions in the Q&A side. So Wanda asked, please, with the presentation done, I would want to know which of your packages are the best for wealth creation. If you are to act as a financial advisor with maybe 50,000 without topping up. Okay. So if someone is supposed to act as a financial advisor, which Anita is, then she would provide answer to that. Maybe she can just add it to the one from Mina. Mina asked, do we have to book an appointment or we can do walk-ins? Do we have to book an appointment or we can do walk-ins? So maybe Anita will take the two and then I'll read out the others.
Okay, so hello, Mina and Wanda. You don't need to book an appointment to come and to see us. Anytime you're in town and you want to pass through, please feel free to pass through. We're happy to assist you anytime you come in. So you don't need to book an appointment. And then on Wanda's question about the 50K without topping up, Wanda, it will depend on what your investment objectives are. So what is the purpose for putting the 50K away? Are you putting it away to buy a house, to buy a car? Are you planning to further your education? Is it for your kids' education in the future? It will depend on what your investment objectives are and what time frame we're looking at to invest. Some of these dynamics will then determine where we put the money. Because if you have a short-term mindset, because maybe you have something that's coming up in the next few months, in the next 3 to 6 months, or even 1 year, then that helps us to know where to channel the funds. For us, if you were only putting it away, maybe because you're planning to get married next year or in 3 years, then that also becomes, it changes the dynamics, because then we have a longer duration to invest for you. And so that also will point us in a certain way. So once you come and we engage, based on what your investment objectives are, be assured that we will give you the best plan that will help you to create wealth, irrespective of what your investment objectives are. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you. So let me take that of Walter and Daniel. I think the two of them tie in. So Walter is asking, thanks for the presentation. Can we have the slides for further reading? For further reading. And then Daniel also asked, are you going to make a playback available for later? I'm sure the two of them, in essence, you're asking whether you can have the material or have some form of summary post the meeting. And then the second one is whether, do you have any investment that goes with stocks, or do you have any investments that include stocks? So I think essentially these are two questions, whether we can get the materials through to you, and then whether we have some investments that includes shares or stocks.
Okay, thank you. So in terms of the presentation, we'll have this recording available on our socials. I know we'll have it on YouTube and on LinkedIn and Facebook. We'll have it available. And so please feel free to check our socials. It will be there for you to listen in anytime you're going for a walk in the morning or after work, or you're just going about doing your daily chores. The recording will be available for you to listen in. And then do we have anything that has stocks? So the Carl Advantage Balanced Unit Trust that I mentioned has a portion of the portfolio that invests in stocks or equities. So if you want a portfolio that gives you access to equities on the stock market, then the Carl Advantage is the place for you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Anita. We have about some 3 minutes to go. So let me quickly read out these other ones that are in the Q&A session. So one coming from Thomas. Thomas is asking, is it possible to share a copy of the most recent annual report for the Cal Advantage and Unit and Benefit Unit Trust, or make available on your website. So Thomas, with this, we do the publishing. So once the AGM is done, it is published on the website. So it's accessible. Then, yes, the most recent, which is 2024, is accessible. Then Virtuous is asking, I hope if that is not your name, you can equally just indicate, because we are building a community of investors and then helping ourselves partner along this journey. So you may want to also just indicate your full name so we get that right. But to your question, you said, please, was the meeting recorded? Is it possible to get access to it? Okay, yes, it is recorded. I think that answer was provided. It's recorded, and therefore you'll be able to have access to it. Then Thomas again asked, what is the turnaround time for making a claim or a redemption on one's account? I think that's about the last one. Whilst Anita provides update on that, let me check whether there are some more questions.
For the Cal benefit, I mentioned earlier that that one is positioned as a short-term fund, and it's supposed to be positioned as an emergency fund. And so for that one, you have up to 48 hours for redemptions within 48 hours for redemptions to go through. We can pay via mobile money and via bank transfer. So you just have to indicate your preference once you complete the form. For the Advantage, because it's a medium to long term, we try to discourage withdrawals in the short term. But in the event that you have to withdraw, we will do that within 5 working days. Now, the thing is that because the Cal Advantage is positioned as medium to long term, we don't invest a lot of the funds in easily in instruments that you can easily convert to cash, even though we have a small portion that we make available for situations where people have to withdraw. So that we ask for 5 working days to do. But for the Cal benefits, within 48 hours, your funds will be made available to you. Thank you.
Okay, great. So thank you so much, Anita. And thank you for making the session a smooth and a sound one. And to all our participants, it's been great having you. If you have further questions post this session, we'll be glad to hear from you. I think that there was an email that we displayed. Great. So please, like I indicated, it's a community we are building. We really, really would love to hear from all of you. Please feel free to send us an email. We'll respond, and then we take the conversation further. It's the first of several that we are going to have. It's a series that we are going to have all through the year. And therefore, this is for just this quarter. We are going to have other sessions, and there's so much we would love to share with you. And therefore, when you reach out to us, there are templates, there are guides, there are conversations that we can have that ultimately we inure to our mutual benefit, you on one side and we on the other side. And therefore, again, before we take the closing remark from Anita, we would love to thank all of you. There's a late question coming in. Just a moment. Are there specific investments for women? Wow. Okay. So I think it's just good that Anita. Mina, thank you so much. I believe you were already in tune with Anita's standing, and therefore I would want to appreciate all of you on behalf of management and staff of CalAsset for you joining and Once we take the closing remark from Anita, she will tie that in with the question from Mina. But by all means, please feel free to send us an email. We will respond and then we can take the conversation even further. Again, we are grateful for you joining the session. Thank you. Let's hear from Anita.
Thank you, Well. Thank you, Mina, for your question. So a few times I've been asked this question about whether we have investments for women. And I've asked people, what are investments for women? Would that be a type of investment that helps women develop themselves? Will it be the type of investment that helps women to build wealth? The question or the answer is that if a woman is ready to invest, whatever her objectives are, we always find a solution for her. And so if you reach out to us, I'll be happy to engage you. If you reach out to us, let us know what you want. And trust me, we have a solution for you. So once you share that information, because for us the goal is to build wealth, and building wealth can be done based on the things that we propose to you, based on your commitment as well to the plan that we will share, and then we'll be able to build what I am personally very passionate about women having their own money. If you go to the Calaset website, I think there's a portion about my profile that talks about that. I'm very passionate about women having their own money because I believe that when women have their own money, it cuts out a lot of things. It doesn't make you vulnerable to a lot of things. It gives you a voice, it gives you a presence, it gives you confidence, and it helps you to live your life without having to worry about anything. And so I'm all for any woman who is ready to build wealth, and I'm happy to assist. Thank you. So that said, I will add my voice to Wellington's voice about how grateful we are that you all joined us for this session. We're happy that you are taking the step to develop yourself to build healthy financial habits that will inure to your benefits in future. We encourage you to encourage the people within your circles, your family, friends, school and church mates to also be intentional about their financial lifestyles because you don't want to be the only one that has money. You don't want to be the only rich family member or rich friend. Everybody's problem will become your problem. But if all of you are rich, like I tell people, when you see siblings who all have money, when there's inheritance, there's no fighting because everybody has their own money. And so even the inheritance becomes a problem because nobody's really bothered about it. That's where we want to get to, where we all have money and so we don't worry about anything. So thank you very much. That you are here means that you are intentional about what you want to do with your financial lifestyle. And we truly appreciate your commitment to this call and to our invitation to have this session. We look forward to the sessions that are lined up between now and the end of the year. By the end of the year, it will be good to hear from you in terms of your testimonials. How today, 9th April 2026, you took the step and where you are at the end of this year and where you seek to be at the end of next year. We're building a community, so don't sit on the fence. Be involved and let's do this together. Thank you very much for joining again and have a good afternoon.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all very much. Thank you. And do have an excellent day, everyone. It's bye-bye from us.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.